Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a foundation review and demo from the drugstore. Very exciting. I feel like I haven't done a foundation review literally since last summer. I might be wrong. I'll link the last one. But this one is on the new and improved L'Oreal True Match foundation. This is supposed to be a super blendable moisturizer and foundation type of foundation. So very exciting. If you want to hear my thoughts and see a demo using this guy, then just keep on watching. So as mentioned in the intro, we are doing a full review and demo using this new foundation from L'Oreal. This isn't a new foundation, but L'Oreal recently did a little update to the formula and packaging for their famous True Match foundation, which I loved. I'll insert a picture here of the original bottle. I used to always have one on hand. It was just affordable, and it was honestly at the time, this is now like probably 10 years ago, it had the most shades by far at the drugstore compared to any other foundation range. Now they have redone their packaging to be a little bit more modern. It has now a pump, more of a slim glass tube as opposed to that shorter round one that just had a lid that you had to kind of dump out the foundation. So pumps definitely allow for a lot more cleanliness and also a lot more control on distribution of product, which is awesome. So really happy overall with the packaging. No complaints there. I mean, a pump is obviously key, and then having a glass tube also just makes it super easy to shade match yourself when you're actually at the drugstore. If you're like me, I don't really like testing them out, so what I would normally do is if I am going into the drugstore, I'll take another glass tube foundation. Even if it's empty, you could still see the residue of the foundation and kind of put them up to each other to help shade match. So that's just like a little tip that I have. So today I have 3 out of the 45 shades to choose from that collection, which is amazing. And this collection does have cool tone, neutral tone, and warm tone distinguished in their collection for you all, which I really love. For some quick shade references, in Maybelline Fit Me Madame Poreless, I tend to be between 220 to 228. Kind of depends on the time of year. Right now I'm 228. In the winter months, I'm usually 220. And for MAC, I'm usually like an NC 25 to 30, if that helps at all. So I'm gonna do 4N, which is just called Beige. Do that one up here. This is 4.5N. And then we'll do 4W. Honestly, I really think that the last one, 4W, is what's pulling the closest. This is called Golden Natural. It looks more neutral than 4.5. 4.5 just looks a smidgen too dark. It might look okay next to my arm though, but I want to match to my chest area. So as you can see, like my hands are really tan. So I think I'm gonna go ahead in with this shade here. This is the 4 Warm Golden Natural. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly go in with a primer. I'm gonna go ahead in with this CoverGirl True Blend Base Skin Primer. This is their mattifying one. They have a bunch really great primers at the drugstore. These are probably my favorite drugstore primers. I have the hydrating one as well that I use more in the winter months, but in the summer I like to use the mattifying one. It helps make my foundation really stay on the skin nicely even through heat and humidity, which I love. So I just quickly added that, and then I have a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand. I'm gonna do one side of the face and we're gonna compare. I'm just gonna do a few dots. So honestly, it blends really nicely, very quickly. And this is just, you know, a pretty thin layer of foundation. In the summer months, I just don't like to have too much foundation on. Just gonna take a little bit more just on the Beauty Blender itself and go in this area here just to help give a little bit more coverage to any area that I have like more redness, especially around the nostrils. But wow, that really blended out so quickly. I'm so impressed, and it feels like nothing's on my skin. Okay, so here is a side-by-side comparison. Immediately you can see a lot of lift in the face, a lot of discoloration completely blended out, especially around the nose and mouth area, any darkness. Even under the eyes, it did a lot of work, so that's amazing. This is half a pump on one side of the face. I don't like to go overboard with my foundations just because you have to remember you're going in after that with, you know, concealer and powder and blah. So I like to keep as minimal of a base as possible. And I also like applying my foundations with the Beauty Blender because I just feel like it helps soak it right into the skin and it feels like absolutely nothing, which I love. So something that I'm really liking is that it does give really nice medium coverage, and I think that this could be a very much so a buildable foundation to a higher coverage. For me, I like light to medium coverage foundations, so this works really nicely for me. You can still see my beauty mark and a little bit of freckles on my cheeks, which I personally really like. I like my skin showing through a little bit as well, so this is really a perfect amount of coverage for me. I'm really happy so far, and it blended like a dream. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same exact amount on this side. Color match as well. I think the color is bang on, so I'm glad I went with this one. Gonna do the exact same thing and take a little bit more on my beauty blender itself and just press it into the areas that I feel I need a bit more coverage, but nothing, not like a full-on new layer, but just like my nose area. And it's the first area to go because allergy season, I'm constantly blowing my nose, like, ugh, such a pain in the butt. Okay, so this is what one layer of the foundation is looking like. As a reminder, I went in with 4 Warm, which is Golden Natural. I'm really liking the color match so far. Yes, my hands and arms are probably like 5 Warm, I would say, like a shade or 2, maybe even darker, but it matches my neck and chest area, which I really like. So from a distance, I think I look pretty even and blended out nicely. And then once I go in with, you know, adding color back into the face, I think it'll really come together. So I'm actually gonna hop off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, jump back on and talk a little bit more about the foundation, how products sit on it and applied on top of it, like my concealer, powders, etc. And then we'll talk a little bit about the foundation itself, where you can buy it, how many shades, price, all that jazz. So I will be right back. All right, I just got back from finishing up my makeup, and to no surprise, I am in love. Honestly, when I saw this product, I had very high hopes just because I loved the original one. So when they reformulated and repackaged the True Match foundation into this one, I had very high hopes. And my hopes were not disappointed. I'm really happy with this foundation on so many different levels. I love the way that you can apply it for more of a light to medium finish and then also be able to build it up. I love that. It doesn't feel cakey. I also went in with very minimal amounts of concealer, just a touch under the eye and a little bit in the center of the forehead, and that was it, because everything else was already so smoothed out. The color correction that this foundation gives is just so nice, and the fact that there are 45 shades to choose from just makes sure that you can really get that bang on finish, so you don't have to go in afterwards to kind of fix up any errors or discoloration coming through. There are 3 key things that they do talk about. So number 1 is that it's infused with hyaluronic acid serum, which is supposed to help improve your skin within 2 weeks of wearing this foundation, so that's kind of nice. I'm usually a little bit hesitant when it comes to foundations claiming that they have these kinds of products within it to help improve the quality of your skin, but I'm keen to see how this one is because it does sit so nicely. It doesn't even like look like I have a lot of products on my face. Like when I'm in the mirror, I'm like, wow, this looks so natural. It just soaked right into my skin nicely, so I am curious about that. It does dry with a nice natural finish, and with the mattifying primer involved, I think that in the T-zone specifically, it does look a lot more matte, which I love, and then highlighted on the key high points where I applied highlighter after the fact. So I love those types of foundations where you can kind of navigate where you want to look a little bit more matte and more highlighted and dewy. That's my favorite, just because it's so versatile depending on what kind of skin situation you're having. For me, I'm a little bit more combo skin, so in the summer I tend to see a lot of oil coming through my T-zone, or in the winter I have dry patches. So love that it's versatile in that sense. One of the other key things that it says is that it is very moisturizing. It's a moisturizer in a foundation. Of course, I still went in with my moisturizer in advance with my skincare, but it's kind of nice that it adds that key element, because if you have very dry skin, this might sit better on your skin on those dry patch areas. And then the third other key benefit that they list is that it is micro match technology. Not sure what that really means, but it says perfectly matches skin tone and texture. I've never really heard of anything really matching texture, because texture is texture, but it does really match nicely. I honestly love the way that this looks on my skin. It matches completely well to my neck. I did have 3 shades to kind of play around with, But again, I did talk about that little tip and trick that I have about picking out drugstore shade matches by just kind of comparing a tube that you have at home. All right, I think I've talked about everything: packaging, formula, shades, and price. So the price is $19.99 Canadian, and you can get it at your local drugstores. I have seen it at Shoppers Drug Mart and at Rexall so far. I honestly haven't been to a Walmart just with COVID and the pandemic. There's lineups right now to get into any of these types of stores, so I've been really sticking to just Shoppers Drug Mart and Rexall, and I've seen it both there, so I have confidence that it is also available. I will also have it linked below if you are interested to shop it. But I think it's safe to say that this is getting a 2 thumbs up. I won't be doing a full wear test today on camera, but of course in the description box I will let you guys know how it wears throughout the day. At this point, I have full confidence. I've had it on for about 45 minutes and I'm just so happy with it. It did not oxidize at all. It really dries nicely. That nice natural satin finish, which I love. Oh, this hair, it's just so ugly. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up this review and demo. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you are going to be trying out this new True Match foundation, or if you are just sticking to the old one until you can no longer get your hands on it. I feel like I have still seen the old one, the old packaging, available at the drugstore as well. Not sure, but let me know down below. Thank you again so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and of course I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.